Yup. That's a scary eyeball monster. Alright, man. We got the black creatures now. We're moving into black cards, the third color. Alright, man. 3 mana, 2/2, flying, death touch. Pay 3, sacrifice another creature artifact. Draw a card. Not bad. Take those heroes and turn them into card draw. I like that it is a creature that has flying and death touch, so we can trade into something, including another flyer. This seems like a solid common for limited. And somebody's asking, have I already gone through multicolored? Nope. It's going to go white, blue, black, red, green, multicolored, colorless lands, usually. Albed Salvagers. 3 mana, 2/3. Whenever this creature or another creature or artifact you control dies, target opponent loses 1 life and you gained 1 life. So this is a Zulaport Cutthroat, or a Marionette Apprentice, I guess is actually much closer, because even though it has a life gain part on it, it also includes artifacts. This is probably solid and limited, especially if you have some sort of a sacrifice deck, or you just don't mind if your own creatures die. We also saw something above, I want to say it was in white, with creatures dying, drawing you cards. Can non-creature artifacts die? Yes, I talked about this before. There was a change to wording. So now artifacts can also die. It's exactly the same thing. It's just shortcutting the language to be like, yes, if it goes from the battlefield into the graveyard because it was sacrificed or destroyed, it dies. And somebody's asking, like, how do you figure out Final Fantasy lore? By playing Final Fantasy or watching some person who is, like, deeply unhinged talk about their favorite game for 3 hours. That was my friends, like, listening to me talk about Final Fantasy VII in high school. They're like, Amy, why is this relationship chart the most complex thing you've ever put on a whiteboard? This was in, like, our anime club, and it's like, because there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot of drama. Hey, Arden, Usurper. You have a lot of mana. Wow. Elder Human Noble. Oh, why does this say this or another? Because they could not say... I guess they could have just said whenever a creature or artifact. I'm not sure. Templating. What's this? Demons you control have menace, lifelink, and haste. Okay, Grizzlebrand. You already have lifelink. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you exile a creature card from a graveyard. If you exile a card this way, create a token that's a copy of the card, except it's a 5/5 black demon. Okay, sweet. That's pretty cool. He does cost 8 mana, though. But I feel like if you resolve this card and get to your combat phase... that's game, because you just reanimated a creature, made it into a 5/5 demon that has menace, lifelink, and haste. It still has all the abilities. That seems good. He instantly hastes out a lifelinking demon. Also menace. Yeah, that feels good. It is 8 mana, though. So, not splashable. It's triple black. It is big. This feels like something, though, that's, like, cool to have in your deck. It feels like Be'lakor. Yeah, he is not himself a demon. But still cool. People are going to try to splash it. I mean, you could discard it and reanimate it. Classic way to do things, especially because this guy wants your graveyard full. And we have seen, I think, 2 blue looters. Easy ways to just discard and draw and discard and draw, or draw and discard, draw and discard. Also, he's doing this. What's wrong? What's wrong? I'm just making demons. Black Mage's Rod. Can't show that here. 2 mana, job select. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, the creature deals 1 damage to each opponent, and it turns things into a wizard. So this is a 2 mana, 2/1, essentially, that has this ping effect. And I actually think that's very good. We were talking about, like, triggered abilities on Cloud. This is one of those triggered abilities. This is great. Having these cards that deal damage when you cast non-creature spells in a set that has so many creatures that are non-creatures because they're attached to these equipments, is really nice. I think that the black mages that have this ping ability are good cards to have, and I think that this is a pretty solid common. I like it. I would play it. The Rakdos theme in the set is direct damage, just like the lizards had. We love casting spells. Oh, hey, Cecil. Dark Knight. A 1 mana, 2/3 with Death Touch. Okay. Cracked. But wait, there's more. Whenever Cecil deals damage, you lose that much life. Ow. But then if your life total is less than or equal to half your starting life total, untap him and transform him. And by the way, you don't like have to attack and block with him. But losing 2 at a time is worth it. He's got Death Touch. He turns into Cecil Redeemed Paladin. He has his redemption arc. And he has Lifelink and Protect. Whenever he attacks, other attacking creatures gain indestructible until end of turn. Now I'm going to remind you, yes, this is a 1-drop. Now he doesn't transform until you have, I guess, like 10 life or less in limited. Or 12 life or left in Brawl. Unconstructed. It'd be 10 or less. Yeah, it's kind of fun with like a Death Shadow thing. Because it's a way for you to lose more life off a cheap creature and then gain some life back. Maybe Death Shadow doesn't want that so much, but Indestructible Death Shadow, yes please. It's 1 mana. Yep, it's 1 mana. It's super flavorful. This feels like a solid card in limited. I will lose the 2 life. Circle of Power. 4 mana, sorcery. You draw 2 cards, and you lose 2 life. You make a wizard that has that ping thing we were talking about before. It's the thing that they're putting on a lot of the, like, the black mages here. Wizards you control get +1/+0 and gain lifelink until end of turn. So you get these wizards able to now, like, gain life as you're casting spells, so you can get some of that back because you just lost 2. I feel like this is a solid sorcery. You get card draw, you get wizard, and also wizards get lifelink for +1/+0 until end of turn. Sure, great, good enough. I think it's fun. It does a lot, and that a lot might be good for you or it might be kind of nothing. They couldn't call this card Ley Lines. Is that what it's supposed to be? What game is this? Oh, 14. Is this a spell that black mages cast in 14? It just, like, does a bunch. Ley Lines is an ability you put on the ground, you gotta send. Okay, yes. Gavin was actually explaining this card to me over lunch, and I was, like, trying to visualize it. He's like, yeah, we were all, like, playing Final Fantasy 14 to, like, really get in tune with it. And there's these abilities that everybody's always yelling at each other about because people will move out of the circle. I didn't understand. Okay, I didn't understand. I've played MMOs though, so like I know the vibe. Gavin was in town for PAX East. It was fun. Cornered by black mages. I'm gonna guess that's 9. Yeah, that's 9. 3 mana, sorcery. Target opponent sacrifices a creature of their choice, and you make one of these ping wizards. Okay, so it is a 3 mana sorcery speed edict, but it does leave you with a token, which is kind of cool. One of the ping tokens. They're cute. They're also, like, spooky. Yes, name something more iconic than your teammates not standing in the buff circle and instead standing in the pain circle. Classic raids. Hey guys, guess what? It's a reprint. And it's a cool reprint. The Dark Confidant. It's a 2 mana 2/1, also known as Bob. At the beginning of your upkeep, you reveal the top card of your library and put it into your hand. Lose life equal to its mana value. Now, if you're me, you always reveal the most expensive card in your deck and take like 6 damage and die. And if you're my opponent, You'll always reveal a land, take no damage, and just hum-de-dum go on your way. When you're sick and tired of your Bob, you can send it into battle. You can block with it. You can attack with it and be like, hey, you gotta block this because it's killing me. It's good in Commander. It's okay in Limited. And it's okay in Constructed. It very much depends on what your deck is like. Why is the card called Bob? Go look at the art for the original one, and it explains it if you look closely. Bob can help you flip Cecil early. Yes, because you'll be losing life, and then you could attack and have it deal damage. That would work. Dark Knight's Great Sword. 3 mana, job select. Equipped creature gets +3/+0 and is a knight. You equip, pay 3 life. You can only do that once a turn, so you can't just like randomly pay life. Okay. So this is a 3 mana 4/1. I guess it gets the flying ability from Dion. By the way, the Dion Knight synergy, there's a lot of knights in this set. So definitely will have some payoff there. Oh, so yes, people are talking about how Bob is called Bob because of, is it Bob Odenkirk? And the art is of the guy on the original art. Yeah, you can see the original art if you like go to Scryfall. 1 second. If I type Bob, it won't show up. How many times they reprinted? Oh, hey, there's another art for it in this set. Neat. Go view all prints. There we go. There's the original art. Odenkirk's the actor, Bob Maher. Yeah, sorry. Somebody said it in chat. I was like, I just know the guy's name is Bob. It's a player. Does it? There we go. It's kind of like how we have the winner of Worlds now will get their likeness on a card. But it's before we had that. There we go. Open that up. You guys will just name Bobs. I don't know people's names, though. Billy Confidant. Yeah, great. Thanks. Big Bob. Bobbity Bob. So Darkness Crystal. This is sick. It's rad. So it's another one of the crystal things. It's 4 mana. Black spells cost less. If a non-token creature an opponent controls would die, it gets exiled, so they do not get death triggers. And you gain 2 life. Double pay. But the payoff increases because you can pay 6, tap, and put target creature that was exiled by the card into play. It gets 2 additional +1/+1 counters. You steal the things you kill. So it sustains you, it discounts things, and it has this ability. It feels sweet for Limited. It also feels like it's okay for Constructed. More like Commander Constructed or Brawl Constructed. A little slow, I think, for a lot of Commander, but still very cool. And there's a lot of decks that get very much hosed by turning off their death triggers. It can also turn off your death creatures. Oh, your death triggers if it's like, oh, whenever I see an opponent's card die, this happens. It doesn't happen anymore, but you can seriously cut off a lot of decks by doing that. So, got some decent stuff. Demon Wall. Name, Demon Wall. Occupation, Demon Wall. Creature type, Demon Wall. It's an artifact creature. It's a 2 mana 3/3 demon and a wall. It has Defender and Menace because it can attack if it has a counter on it. And you can also pay 6 mana to put counters on it. And you can do that however many times you want as long as you have mana for it. Cool. This is the Final Fantasy XIV version of the Demon Wall, but it shows up in other games. And it was really annoying. I remember in, oh god, was it 7? I had to deal with one. It's creepy. Somebody was saying that like it was technically a gate in that, not a wall. Okay. Okay. Evil! Reawaken! That sounds like a reanimation spell. Is it? Yes, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield with 2 additional +1/+1 counters. Wow. Brings it back and makes it bigger. Seems okay. Lots of big boys in this set that I don't want to have to cast. Fang. Fearless Lassie? Is that an L? Hi, Fang. Fang is a 3-mana, 2/3. Whenever 1 or more cards leave your graveyard, you may draw a card and lose 1 life. That is a May ability. No, it's not a May ability. I'm sorry. But it only triggers once a turn. But wait. It's got Meld! I think there's only 2 cards with Meld here. So this melds with Vanille, Cheerful Lassie. So if you get the 2 of them out, you can make Ragnarok. Divine Deliverance. Cybershare, thank you for the sub. But wait, there's more.
Love FF and love S streams.
Yeah. So I'm guessing they're both uncommons. We'll see Vanilla later. Dodging saying names. I'm saying most of the names. But also, like, Final Fantasy names are weird because almost every Final Fantasy game I played did not have voice acting saying the names of characters. So you read them however you felt like, and then you discussed them with your friends. You're going to hear me say Zidane a lot. If you say Zidane, you're wrong. Is Zidane correct? Maybe. So is Titus. And that's dumb. It's Titus. Yeah, so there's an uncommon Meld pair. The Meld trigger is on the other card, so you'll see it later. But you get to get a 7/6 with Vigilance, Menace, Trample, Reach, and Haste. Whenever it dies, you destroy target non-land permanent, return a non-legendary permanent from your graveyard to the battlefield. So it's sick. What do you mean? Yeah, it's Titus. Of course it is. Titus is dumb. Is it the official? Yes. If you are making official content for Square Enix, you have to say Titus. It was supposed to be Titus. But nobody said Titus. They said Titus, because it's like Titus, like Titus, which is a name in English. What do you mean that's not how you say it? There's a lot of nitpickers who are like, you're saying the names wrong. Yes, and I'll continue to say them wrong because I don't know how to pronounce anything right. And even when I do know how to pronounce things right, no, I don't. Fight on! Yeah, I'm not usually intentionally mispronouncing names. It's just these are games where, like, you did genuinely, like, come up with your own pronunciations because they were text. You just said it. It's part of the fun. I mean, like, my original party in Final Fantasy VII, I think everybody was renamed except for Eris. Eris was Eris. And everybody else was, like, Blondie, pretty sure Bimbo, Mr. T. You get how it is. Fight On is the song from Final Fantasy VII. That's just the fight theme, right? Like the non-boss battle theme? Does it have a different name? Not Bim, but that was Tifa. I'm sorry. 3 mana, instant. Return up to 2 creature cards from your graveyard to your hand. Hey, that can trigger this, because cards are leaving your graveyard. This is also like a pretty good rate for this kind of like return to hand. It is useless early in the game and gets better as the game goes on, especially at instant speed. Those who fight is the battle theme. Oh, I wonder which one to fight on is. The Final Days. Yeah, they went all in on trying to show how creepy this art is in 14. Sorry. It's this is weird looking. What's going on with this? Listen, Dystaxia, I was like 9. I'm trying to remember how old I was when I played 7. It was after the, like, secondary printing of the discs, because I didn't buy the original ones. I have, like, the Game of the Year version or whatever it was called then. Create 2 tapped 2/2 black horror creature tokens. If the spell was cast from a graveyard, instead create X of those tokens, where X is the number of creature cards in your graveyard. Okay. We've seen these before, but usually they don't make creatures this good, but they do come in tapped for this. It's a nightmare horror. It sure makes horrors. I think that 4 mana make 2 tapped creatures, that's decent. I wish they weren't tapped, but like that keeps the other part under control. Because late in the game, flashback, you cast this for 6 and you get like 8 creatures. That could be really good. Depending on how much self-mill there is. Will this be the most popular Magic set? I think it might already be the most pre-ordered Magic set, at least. Yes. Yes. Gaius van Baelsar. 4 mana, 3/2, legendary human soldier. When he enters, choose 1. Each player sacrifices a creature token. Each player sacrifices a non-token creature, or each player sacrifices an enchantment. That's a very nice, flexible, sort of like Plague Crafter, Fleshbag Marauder kind of card. And what I think is neat about this is if you don't have a token and your opponent does, you can play this and be like, you have to sacrifice your token. If your opponent has an enchantment and you don't, you have to sacrifice it. That's pretty nice. I don't think that's bad. It is 4 mana, but the flexibility on it is interesting. This guy looks like a judge. He does look a little like the judges from Tactics. They couldn't fit his speech on the card. Does he have a very dramatic speech? Oh my. It's Mr. Shuldred. Yeah. Mr. Shuldred's Edict. Hectize. 2 mana, 1/1 ooze horror. It's a burglar rat. Whenever this creature enters, each opponent discards a card. So we're getting this ability on a new creature type, ooze horror. Where is it good? Ooze and horror, I guess. There is actually both ooze commanders, but I think they're green, like AV. And there's a horror commander that's in black. So, cool. I'm putting that in a horror deck. This guy's speech gets very memed on for being like super dramatic. It's a virus beetle, except it's not an artifact. It's still good though. Yeah, you can put this with your target. Anything that's like cares about making your opponent's discard, tiny bones, whatever. This can go in it. It's just takes the place of like a burglar rat, as I said. Hi, Jecht. This is my garbage daddy. What was my first Final Fantasy game? I think it would be 6. I think I went 6, 7, or like what is now. What was originally published as 6, but released in America as 3, but when I played it, it was 3, but now it's 6 again. Okay, that one. The one with Kefka in it. That was my first one. Then I think I played 7, and then I think I played the remakes of 1 and 2 that were on the DS. And then I played... No, 10 might have come before the 1 and 2 remakes. And then I watched my brother's friend play most of 9. And I watched a streamer play 8. And I would go over to my friend's house and we would like have fun in 11, the online one, together. I played some of 15. Yeah, listen, it's just a mess. Deadbeat Dad Commander deck went. Now you can build a Deadbeat Dad as your commander. Aren't you so happy? Him and what was Killian's dad from Strixhaven? You can have 2 different Deadbeat Dads. Aren't you lucky? I guess that's more of like a hard-ass dad. Jecht, Reluctant Guardian is a 4 mana 4/3 with Menace. Whenever he deals combat damage to a player, you may exile him and have him come back as Braska's final Aeon. Give 9 a shot. I told you I watched somebody else play in 9. It's fine. Each opponent discards a card and you draw a card. Each opponent discards a card and then you draw a card. Then Ultimate Jet Shot. Each opponent sacrifices 2 creatures of their choice. And then he dies. He's a 7/7 with Menace, so he is huge. but he doesn't stick around for long. Still feels very, very powerful for limited. He does not flip back. No, he's gone. Totally the same thing watching somebody else play. Okay, like Twitch is founded on people who watched their older siblings play games because that's how you got to like experience more games. It's the same thing. Same thing. Kane, Traitorous Dragoon. Does he have jump? He has jump, because he's a Dragoon. 3 mana, 2/4 human knight. During your turn, he has flying, and whenever Kane deals combat damage to a player, that player gains control of him. If they do, you draw that many cards, so based on the amount of damage, and you make that many trapped treasure tokens, and then lose that much life. So definitely, upsides and downsides. This feels to me more like a card I'd only really want to play in Commander. Because, like, you're trading it around, you're getting the card draw, you're giving it to people. I don't like this one as much. It is a cool ability. But I feel like giving it to your opponent is not great. It would be funny if you have, like, a commander with goad. Yeah, something that, like, repeatedly, like, goads it and passes it around. A Marlboro. They got bad breath. 6 mana, 4/4 Plant Horror. When this creature enters, each opponent discards a card, loses 2 life, exiles the top 3 cards of their library. It also has swamp cycling, so you can discard it, get any swamp from your deck. Awesome. Put it in your hand so you can have mana for actually casting your spells. You can also reanimate this. We've seen 1 uncommon reanimation spell. Wouldn't be bad. Namazu Trader. Oh, he's a fish man! He's a fishizen! Look. Look. He's fish man. I love him. I want to take him home. I'm kidnapping him from the store. 4 mana, 3/4. When this creature enters, you lose 1 life and make a treasure. When this creature attacks, you may sacrifice another creature or artifact. If you do, surveil 2. It's not a very good or interesting card. But if you want more artifacts, like to get that treasure in play, it's okay. Yeah, he's a legitimate business fish. People who are Final Fantasy XIV players are like, this guy! You hate him? Oh no! You can get a minion of 1 in 14. Cool. Ninja's Blades, another job select card. So this is a 3 mana. You get the 1/1. The 1/1 gets +1/+1, is a ninja, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card and then discard a card. That player loses value equal to discarded card's mana value. It has an equip of 2, so this is one of the cheaper ones to move around. It doesn't really come with any evasion though, but that is pretty sweet where it's like, you hit, you loot, and if you discard something like an Emrakul, your opponent's losing a ton of life. Or you could just discard a land, they don't lose anything, but it still gave you card selection. Does Job Select do anything? Job Select means it comes with a 1/1 hero token, and it automatically equips to said hero token. So it's essentially a creature. Overkill! Target creature gets -0, minus 9,999 toughness until end of turn. This set's murder. It gets through indestructible. It's really good. Ain't no kill like Overkill. Waka giving you some sort of cool water plate, I guess. And then big number. Yep. That's a fun one. I think that this is just great and limited. And I would say this is a okay piece of removal outside of it. There's a lot of different choices for removal and constructed. This one is 3 mana as opposed to many other pieces in black are 2 mana. And even though it doesn't exile, it does get through indestructible. So if indestructible is a big issue, if this is the kind of removal you need, awesome. If you play it with Jaws of Defeat in Commander, which is a card from the Bator/Felithar precon, it's really awesome. Yes, it does give you a way to kill an opponent by making them lose around 9,999 life. A little bit different, whatever the difference between toughness and power is. Can you get around some forms of protection? Just damage, because you can't target if it has protection. Overkill. Phantom Train. Don't worry, suplexing the train is later. The card Suplex does have suplexing the train on it. It does come later. So this is the Phantom Train fight. You have a 4-mana, 4/4 vehicle with trample. You can sacrifice another artifact or creature at instant speed to put a counter on this, and it becomes a spirit artifact creature until end of turn. So essentially, you don't have to crew it. You have to sacrifice something for it to become a creature. So that is, it has no crew. You cannot crew it, which means that like you need to have, let's say, an equipment or a hero token or a treasure token or something that you want to give up to animate it. I think this is kind of tricky because of that requirement. Because it has trample, it could give you a great all-in-one shot where it's like anything that's blocked gets sacrificed and you make it bigger and bigger and bigger. We already saw something that drains your opponent for life when your artifacts and creatures die. In the right deck, it's good, but I would not just take this for any limited deck. Yes, Cup Ramen, the train runs on noodles. Would this go well in Terra's Precon? Not really. I think there's better sacrifice outlets you could put into the deck, but it is a free sacrifice outlet. I would probably rather run something like Woe Strider, something that Terra could reanimate would be even better. Viscera Seer, because yes. Poison the Waters. Kefka's killing a whole town. I love the art on this, though. I'm glad that they had shown this really early because I think it looks fantastic. Is it very good? It's okay. 2 mana, choose one. All creatures get -1/-1 until end of turn, so that can wipe out small creatures, the 0/1s and 1/1 tokens. Target player reveals their hand. You choose an artifact or creature, and they discard it. So the flexibility is what makes this kind of nice. I'm not actually sure how well it will play in Limited, though. I think it will be all right. I think that it is the kind of card I would probably take in a lot of black decks because I like that discard ability, cut my opponent off from a creature. In Constructed, it may see play because I know there's a lot of things making 1/1s right now. But a lot of times those 1/1s grow. Or they have, like, Quarry Steel Cutters attached to them. So it might not actually work, especially because it's sorcery speed. Too bad. It should have said town. Yes, it should have said artifact, creature, or land with the town type. That would have been funny. Q-Trub Forayer. It's a zombie horror, 3 mana, 3/2. When this creature enters, choose one to start. Destroy target creature that has dealt damage this turn, or exile up to 2 cards from a single graveyard. You can even hit your own graveyard to trigger the card draw of the guy we saw ahead. It's fine. It will occasionally kill things. It will also, like, be able to cut off certain reanimation spells, or other graveyard synergies. Yeah, they put a lot of love into a lot of the Kefka art because I think they know that he is an iconic villain. Like I mentioned before, I think 6 was my first Final Fantasy game. I thought Kefka was awesome. And if my throat didn't hurt from coming back from yelling with like 30 content creators in a room for 2 days, I'd probably hit you with my Kefka laugh. I'm sure it will happen during the streams for the Final Fantasy set. Like every time I see him, dies to Phoenix Down. Yep, it's a curve filler. This feels like a curve filler to me. Oh, Reno and Rude, they did get cards. Well, they got a card. They're together. We got our Turks. 2 mana, 2/1, Menace. Whenever Reno and Rude deal combat damage to a player, you exile the top card of that player's library. Then you may sacrifice another creature or artifact. If you do, you may play the exiled card this turn and spend mana of any type to cast it. So they do crime. But you have to sacrifice something to do to actually play the stolen cards. I like that they're assassins. That means that I can put this into Laughing Jasper Flint. I wish I didn't have to sacrifice. It's nice that you can play the card, though. So, like, if you really need a land, if you hit a land, you can use it. Is the thing I'm using to view the cards publicly available? Yes, it's mtgset.review. You can see the URL right up there. And if you want to support them on Patreon, you can check it out right here, mtgset.review. It's an optional sacrifice, yeah, you don't have to. Resentful Revelation. Sephiroth finds out about his past and burns some stuff down about it. 2 mana sorcery, look at the top 3 cards of your library, put 1 into your hand, the rest into your graveyard, and it also has flashback, so it's card advantage, and it also sets up your graveyard, because there are so many cards with flashback in this set. We mentioned before, exiling things from the graveyard could be helpful. It can set up your graveyard. Read history, immediately go insane. It's great. As far as like limited goes, it's fine. It's like a 2 mana sorcery speed cantrip that you can maybe cast again later for more. And there's Sephiroth. This card is absolutely a bomb. Whenever Sephiroth enters or attacks, you may sacrifice another creature. If you do, draw a card. It's a 3 mana 3/3. And whenever another creature dies, including creatures your opponent controls, target opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. It's a Blood Artist effect. If this is the 4th time this ability is resolved in a turn, he transforms into the One-Winged Angel, Angel Nightmare Avatar, which is a 5/5 flyer. As this creature transforms, you get an emblem that says the same thing that's on the front side of the card. Whenever a creature dies, target opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. It's actually slightly different because it would also trigger on Sephiroth dying, whereas the front side is only other creatures. Whenever Sephiroth attacks, you may sacrifice any number of creatures. If you do, draw that many cards. It's pretty sweet. Definitely a great card in Limited. Yes, it's an emblem. You can't get rid of it. And also, if you force transform him using something that, like, say, transforms all your humans. Was it Moon Mist? He still gets the emblem. I don't know why you do that, but if you did, it would work. Sephiroth's Intervention. 4 mana, instant, destroy target creature. You gain 2 life. You'll notice that nothing in this set says Planeswalker, because there's no Planeswalkers in this set. Same thing they did with Lord of the Rings. Yeah, you take this in Limited because it kills things. Shambling Seath. It's a 3 mana 3/3. It enters tapped. It's a mutant horror, and whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you may pay black mana to return a card from your graveyard to your hand. So as you're casting even those equipments, it gives you a way to recur this, but it is kind of slow. It costs 4 total to recur it on top of like casting non-creature spell. It's not bad though. It just gives you something to bring back. Shinra Reinforcements. 3 mana 2/3. When this creature enters, you mill 3 cards, you gain 3 life. It puts things in your graveyard. If you're a very graveyard-specific deck, that could be nice. The gaining 3 life is nice, and otherwise its stat line is as it is. It's how they go. Eep. Side quest. Hunt the Mark. This is, 12. Okay, Final Fantasy 12. For 5 mana, you get an enchantment. When it enters, you destroy up to 1 target creature. Good removal, slow but inexpensive, but at the beginning of your end step, if a creature died under an opponent's control this turn, make a treasure token. If you have 3 or more treasures, transform this enchantment. So that's nice. It gives you some payoff, some refund. They are not tapped treasures. And it gives you Yasmat, Ultimate Mark. Okay, are we playing Monster Hunter now? That is a legendary dragon. Pay 2, sacrifice another creature artifact to give Yasmat indestructible and tap it. It's a 5/6. Cool. Kill spell that turns into a 5/6 and makes you treasures. I'm down. Anima. Hey, it's Seymour's mommy. Could this be your commander? No, because the front side is not a legendary creature. You can remember because it's Anima, because this is mommy. 6 mana, 4/4 with Menace. Pain. You draw a card and lose a life. Pain. You draw a card and lose a life. Pain. You draw a card and lose a life. Then Oblivion. Each opponent sacrifices a creature of their choice and loses 3 life. Seems just fine. Art looks sick. feel like that works really well on the upright frame. Summon Primal Odin. It's a Saga Knight. It is a 6-mana 5/3. When it enters, it destroys a target creature an opponent controls. More removal. This is on a rare, though. That seems pretty sweet. Then, this creature gains whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, that player loses the game. And remember, Chapter 2 is probably the only time that it can attack, unless you're, like, reversing the Saga, which there are many ways to remove counters from Sagas, especially in Commander. Just reminding you, just in case. Maybe you're playing it with Glissa. You can remove counters from your own Sagas, just saying. So you can destroy things again and try to make your opponent lose the game. Anyway, and then Hall of Sorrow. Draw 2 cards. Each player loses 2 life. Nice. Neat. That's cool. I want to see somebody win with it in Limited. Tonberry. You know Tonberry. They move very slowly and stab you very hard with their knife. This is a Salamander Horror. It's a 2/1. And during your turn, it has First Strike and Death Touch. It does enter stunned, though, and tapped because it moves very slowly. So, enters tapped with a stun. Next turn, stun goes away. Turn after that, it untaps, and then you have a First Striking, Death Touching 2/1 for 1 mana. Very slow, but not bad. Glissa did that to past Amy yesterday. Good job, Glissa. Undercity Dire Rat. That's just a rat. That's just a big rat. This isn't Final Fantasy. It's big rat. You know what this is? This is RuneScape. 2 mana, 2/2 Rat Tail. When this creature dies, you make a rat. Well, no, you make a treasure token. That's its tail. The tail is a treasure. Oh. Is it because you're using the rat's tail to, like, open the door? This is Elden Ring Night Rain. Are there a lot of giant rats you fight? Because I know Elden Ring had a lot of giant rats. Rat tails are in a lot of Final Fantasy for important stuff. Weird. Okay. It's not bad. It refunds a little when it dies. Rat tail was in the first one? Oh, weird. Vane's Treachery. A 2-mana instant. Sacrifice an artifact or creature in order to kick this. Target creature gets -2/-2 until end of turn, and if the spell was kicked, it gets -6/-6. Thank you, Techno Shaman! Thank you for the 32 months. Yeah, it's no shambling ghast, but it's fine for Limited. Vane's Treachery is also fine for Limited. It is a -2/-2 for 2 mana, which is not, like, great, but it's fine. And then -6/-6 if you're able or willing to sacrifice stuff is much, much better. Vincent Valentine. Notably, not a vampire. Not a demon. At least not on his front side. Not a mutant. Not even a human. Just an assassin. Vincent Valentine is a 4-mana 2/2. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, you put a number of +1/+1 counters onto Vincent Valentine equal to that creature's power. Notably, if you give it negative power, you don't get negative counters, and you just don't get counters. Whenever Vincent Valentine attacks, you may transform him to turn him into the Galleon Beast, which is a werewolf beast. Trample, lifelink. He still keeps the counters that you've put on him from things dying. When he dies, he comes to the battlefield tapped, front face up. So oftentimes, you will want to transform him, unless you were trying to kill something and get, like, that extra benefit. Yes, overkill will still work fine, because it doesn't reduce power at all. Yes, he keeps his counters, except when he dies. If Galleon Beast dies, it removes all the counters, and then it comes back as Vincent Valentine. Still pretty solid rare. It only will be transformed if you've attacked at least once. But, like, you can attack in just to gain life. Like, gain 3 life. Not bad. Maybe put your opponent into a bad block. And then it will come back tapped. You can do it again next turn. And if your opponent is sacrificing things, this gets bigger. Vincent's Limit Break is another tiered spell. It costs 2 mana at its base, and it also always has, until end of turn, target creature you control gains. Whenever this creature dies, return it to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control. And it also gives the creature, on this turn, before it dies, not when it comes back, before it dies, the chosen power and toughness. So, Galleon Beast, 3-2, Death Gigas, 5-2, or Hell Masker, 7-2. So this is a lot like Fungal Fortitude and some other similar spells. It's like, when a thing dies, it comes back tapped under your control. Great. Or owner's control. For 2 mana, you turn your creature into a 3-2, 3 mana, 5-2, 5 mana, 7-2. So it's like both a combat trick, can allow you to trade up, and also brings your things back. Terrible templating. Yes, I feel like it should have, until end of turn, target creature you control becomes a this, and then gains the when the creature dies text. You want to put this into Ezio? Oh, you want to put him into Ezio. He's an assassin. Why not? The backside's not an assassin, though. Zenos ye Galvus. People have told me that they love him and they hate him, but he also loves you. He is a Final Fantasy XIV major enemy, and he is determined to have you as his chosen rival. He is best friend. He says, my first friend. Wow, your first friend. That's my man. He's your toxic boyfriend. You're in a situationship with him. 5 mana, 4-4. When he enters, choose a creature an opponent controls. Until end of turn, all creatures other than Zenos and that other guy get -2, -2. So nobody else matters. You all die. It's only me and you. When a chosen creature leaves the battlefield, bounced, dies, you transform Zenos into Shinryu, a dragon. I have been also informed by my friends who are very into Zenos that he lays eggs in this form, and they are very into that. It's an 8/8 with flying, and you choose an opponent when he transforms. When the chosen player loses the game, you win the game. This gives you another way to win at a 4-player table by taking out maybe the weakest person there. There's a similar card to this actually in the Assassin's Creed set. I want to say it's like a Demir Assassin. It's very frustrating. I have some freaky friends that are regular. They're having a good time. It's also a huge beater. It's an 8/8. 8/8 flyer. And remember, the front side is 5 mana. Not bad. It's also 4/4 like on the front side, but it has like that like wipe effect where you can kill a lot of stuff in play, including some of your own cards. Arr. Zodiark, Umbral God, costs black, 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 black to cast. It's indestructible. It's a god. When it enters, each player sacrifices half the non-god creatures they control of their choice, rounded down. And whenever a player sacrifices another creature, you get a +1/+1 counter on Zodiark. You can reanimate this unlimited. I would not bank on casting this unlimited. It is 5 black mana. Yep. Sure is. Sure is. Mono black limited. Let's go. Would I play this in constructed? Probably not. It is cool though. Like make your opponent sacrifice half their creatures. You also have to sacrifice half of your non-gods. And it grows. Also big indestructible creatures are kind of cool. I mean, if you're playing mono black and limited, which like there is always a chance that you can pull off mono colored and limited, and black has pretty good removal as we've seen and good value. You could go for it. It would be besties with Sephiroth. Yeah, as long as you're not sacrificing him. Next, we have Midgar, City of Mako. It is one of the towns with the adventures, and the reactor raid is the adventure for 3 mana. You may sacrifice an artifact or creature. If you do, draw 2 cards. And otherwise, it's a tapped land. So you can do the reactor raid, and then land enters tapped. Yeah, not bad. Kind of an upcycle, but it is sorcery speed. And then this is from the starter deck, so is this. So these are not draftable, but they are standard legal. Deadly Embrace, that is, I think, a reprint, right? Deadly Embrace. Destroy target creature an opponent controls, then draw a card for each creature that died this turn. Not bad removal. Kind of cool. And Seymour Flux. Yeah, I remember that form. It was weird. Is it a reprint? I don't know. The name seems familiar. It's Seymour's, but no, that's different. 4 and a colorless. Sorry, 4 and a black, so it's 5 mana. It's a 5/5. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may pay 1 life. If you do, draw a card and put a +1/+1 counter on Seymour Flux. So that seems pretty good. Again, these are from this product. They are standard legal. If you buy this, it comes in the thing in the back. Would I play this as a commander? Probably not. Do I think it looks cool? Yeah, I do. Would I put this into a deck? Probably not. But it's a spirit avatar in case you're going for spirit or avatar synergy. Neat. Next, we're going to look at red.